Welcome back. We've been talking about Marley's Mission and the great work that they do. Now it's an opportunity for you to learn how you can be involved. Gene, what's the website and how do people make a contribution, or how do they call and volunteer to help?
Sure, thanks Todd. It's MarleysMission.com, and on that website you'll be able to see a variety of different options. It'll talk about volunteer opportunities, and of course, since we work with children, we do require clearances, background clearances and things like that. So there's a little bit to do in order to get yourself to the point where you're actually coming on campus. And for those who wish to make a donation, and it could be time, talent, or treasure, that website will direct you to all of those specific places. So we certainly appreciate all the help we can get from our community. They've been exceptional so far. And
from my times that I've visited up there and been at the gala, you've got some really wonderful partners.
We do.
The Burney family.
Yes, yes.
And others.
We do. We've seen a growth in corporations wanting to come to the farm, like Gene had mentioned earlier, to spend the day with us. Matt Burney Honda, obviously Denise Burney, she has been incredible to us with her Hope and Healing Fund that she has at the Scranton Area Foundation. And you know, we see SCE Environmental, they come up and help us, Scranton Toyota,
Cigna Healthcare.
Cigna Healthcare. And you know, some smaller groups have come up on quite the occasion to help us out. So
that's fantastic. And Gene, what are your needs now?
The needs that we have are really volunteer based and donations. We are always looking for folks that are willing to spend some time and work at the farm, and we're certainly we have great places to place your investment into a child. If you're willing to give $5 or $10, you can rest assured that it will be one of the most significant investments you've made, because you're going to have the opportunity to change the life of a child forever. When it comes to your group or organization or even a group of friends, you know, there are folks, we talked about some of them, like the Black Sheep of West Scranton. They've come to the farm so many times I can't even count. We in fact just honored them this weekend at the gala. The work they do is invaluable. When you look at what it would cost for us to have that work done, it would certainly stunt our ability to move forward as we have.
Who are the Black Sheep of West Scranton?
It's a volunteer organization. It's a group, an organization that has always worked to help children in the region. And they've been with us for some time, and they've done everything to cleaning stalls, to building shelters in our pastures for horses. They bring equipment, you name it. You know, when they come, there's 15 or 20, and you see them drive up that hill, and it's a sight to see. You see this line of cars coming up the hill at the mission, and it's really that makes the difference, I think, for us as an organization. It allows us to place our funds where we need to place them most, which is investing in kids and making sure that the children that we see have every best opportunity to move forward with some sense of hope and be able to define their own futures.
You know, the first show we did on Marley's Mission was probably three to 4 years ago, and the growth is absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, there are so many children that need your services. It must be tough to try to keep on top of helping everybody that needs your services.
it definitely has grown. We've seen over 500 children in 10 different counties in northeastern Pennsylvania, all the way from Pike County to Philadelphia County. I'm glad that we're there to help them, and it's a bittersweet thing to know that we have to be there to help them. But
Gene, you've been with the district attorney's office, and you were one of the people that got this started with April.
Yes.
Have you seen much interest in other district attorneys' offices and other victim and witness programs that are?
Oh yes, we actually get a lot of referrals from those agencies around the region. I think just about every DA in this region and victim witness program knows what Marley's Mission does and refers families to the program, and it's been a very good and strong relationship.
And I think it's worth repeating, but you got a terrific award early on as one of the. Talk to our audience a little bit about that.
Yes, Marley's Mission was voted best charity, best new charity in the country. And so we were able to fly out to San Diego to accept that award from Stay Classy. That was probably one of the biggest highlights that I can remember from the organization. But I think it lended a lot of credit to our organization, and definitely made it a lot realer than it was. I mean, it was an amazing achievement for us.
And I've got to believe this partnership with the veterans is going to bring a lot more. Just that you're so adaptable. That that's. I can imagine there would be a lot of charities that'd say, no, we're going to just stay with the kids. But opening it up to the veterans, I think, is wonderful, and I think it's a great symbiotic relationship. So
I think one of the things, especially in this county in this area that we live, is when you see a need for something and you know you can help. I mean, that's what this community is all about, and we can help. So.
I say this all the time, and I probably said it 100 times on this show, but there is no place in America where I believe the people are more generous and more willing to help than northeastern Pennsylvania.
I agree.
We're living proof of it.
It's the best example.
Yep.
No doubt.
But it's a great thing. And what's in the future? Do you have any long-term plans that?
Oh, geez, that's a tough question.
I think what our typical long term is, we'll look out 1 year to 3 years, and we want to see our campus fully functional and have the veterans program up and running, and really make sure that we're hitting stride on all cylinders. And at that point, then we get a chance to sort of take a step back and evaluate who we are, where we are, and what the next 3 to 5 years looks like, and that's important.
I'm going to give a rehearsal to another group that I'm involved with, and that's the Kenya School of Management at the University of Scranton. They are always looking for voluntary work for their students. And I've mentioned this before, but when I was on the Scranton School Board, we got 5 of them to do a study of the business of educating the students in the Scranton School District. They went from building and grounds to personnel to accounting to staffing, and I mean, spent a whole semester, but they were terrific. And that there might be a couple kids up there that would be very helpful to you.
Absolutely.
Number one, in looking for grants, and et cetera.
Sure.
Very good School of Social Work, the macro folks out there,
Right.
also can be very helpful. So we're lucky that
We
we
are.
have those educational
Absolutely.
programs available. When we come back, we're going to have some closing thoughts on Marley's mission.
Have you been denied Social Security benefits? You can appeal. If you are disabled and if you have been paying taxes, you've earned your rights to your Social Security benefits. Call O'Malley and Langen. And remember, we don't get paid unless you win.
Gene, the veterans, how do people get in touch with Equines for Freedom?
Sure, I appreciate you asking that question, Todd. They can be found online at equinesforfreedom.org. And similar to our website, a variety of information is there. A bit of background about their program, what they do, the folks that work with them. If you're interested in helping them, if you're interested in hosting an event or making a donation, all of that information is there. I would encourage folks to look them up online, get an understanding of who they are, what their program looks like, and go ahead and get involved. You know, some of the things that we heard, and you know, we've heard it in the community, but having a relationship now with them and talking to them more and more, and you hear these statistics that are just frightening. 22 service members a day lose their life.
There's a group, and we had them on the show, Mission 22, that tries to bring attention to the terrible, terrible rate of suicide among veterans.
It's frightening, and you know, it's epidemic proportions. If you take a 10,000-foot view of our country, and there was something that was responsible for causing 22 people a day to die, we all would be up in arms.
Sure we would.
And we would be doing something about it, and we haven't done enough. We have an opportunity right here in northeastern Pennsylvania to be part of the solution.
I think that's That's a great point. And Aubrey Larson, who's a friend and has been here to Scranton and appeared on Tommy Mundley's Veteran Show, I think I'm going to point out what you're doing up there, and he may want to put one of the things that got them started was artwork. One of the founders does beautiful work with metal, and he did a tree out in Indianapolis, which is gorgeous, but it has the names of some of the fallen veterans on it on the leaves. But I'm sure he could come up with something and get it up there and remind people that the veterans can't be forgotten either.
Agreed.
Anything else, April, that we need to talk to our audience about?
You know, I think it can't never be said enough from Gene and I and the rest of the board of directors and the people on the ground at Marley's Mission that, you know, we're very thankful for your support and having us here time and time again, and now talking about Equines for Freedom, and we're just very thankful that you give us this opportunity.
Well, I'm thankful to have you in the community. I mean, it is wonderful. And do you still get the same number or more referrals?
Oh yes, it's very busy. Part of April's day-to-day work is managing referrals and making sure that we have spaces to put children in for treatment. Yeah.
Great. April, thank you for what you do. Gene, thank you for what you
Thank
do.
you, Tom.
You're one heck of a prosecutor, but you spend an awful lot of time helping victims, and that, I think, is fantastic. So
Thank you.
and thank you for sharing your Sunday morning with us on You Be the Judge.